Hi there, let's take a look at the new Sevn template from museGrid and how it operates. So first off we start with this start screen here. So there's little content here but your icon and this start button, and then we have this these navigation dots running down the side. So we click start and we scroll down to the starting position. Now this was done so that we can get this nice animation in as the starting point, because if we had it here, of course you wouldn't see anything until it animated out, and we wanted an animation in point. So we click on the start and we move down to this point, and we have these nice composition widgets here to create these buttons. We can also see that the navigation dots are persistent and that they're running down the page, and we can see that we can use them to navigate in between the different points. We've also used scroll motion on the background here to create depth, and we've got multi-layers of depth here. So we've got our text seeming to sit still on top there, but then we've got this star field moving, and behind that another star field moving independently, which gives us this great depth to the page. And of course this has been inspired by the new iOS 7, which you may or may not like, but that's what we used as inspiration for this template. And so we've created this kind of nice parallax background. Moving on to the first section of the site, the About Us section, we've got an icon here, and we have animation bringing in this graphic, some nice typography. We have this section here with the slider, giving the different services that are provided, and again the navigation dots persistent. We can move down. Nice gallery. That with this is in its own slider as well, so we've got the different galleries, so we can fit lots of content into that small space. And then we've got the contact section with a map when you roll over the location icon. So that's the template itself, but let's take a look at how we can modify some of these items. So I'm going to jump over to Muse here. First of all, we're going to take a look at that background. Now what we've done with the site is we have a master template that controls the backgrounds and then the content sitting in the page itself. So if we go into the master background here, let's swap out this background. We can see that we've got this, we're using a background fill for the background, and I've got an alternate design here, so I'm going to load that up. I've got it on my desktop here, 7 Alt, here we go, and in our parallax here I've got a foreground element. I'm going to swap that out with, and I'm going to use original size, and I'm going to put it to the corner there. And then using our layers palette, I'm going to go to, let's see, we're going to choose the background item here, and we can use that galaxy field there that we've got there, and I'm going to use this alternate background here, and we can see that we've got this nice London skyline that we've got in the background here, and I'm going to set that at the top, so it's going to the sky is going to be the most prevalent. You could set it to the bottom, whichever you want. Let's take a look at that now. Let's go back to the home page, and let's go to preview in page in browser. Just take a second there to run that out. And as you could see that we've got a foreground and a background element, and we're using transparent PNGs to create that depth effect. So we've got an item sitting on. So we've got this, here we go, we've got the template here. And we can see now we've got this nice, it might not be quite how we want it there. It's not sitting quite, we can't see quite as much content as we like to. So let's go back to our template here, and we can modify how we want this. What we're going to do here is we're going to just bring this up slightly, and we're going to set the background here to, let's set it to the other way around. Set it like that, so we've got more of that. Okay, let's take a preview on that now. We'll just preview that in Muse itself. I find that the previews in Muse aren't as smooth as in the browser. Still not quite how we want it. That's partly because of the way that we are viewing it in this smaller frame here while I'm recording the video. So I think what we'll do instead is we will keep that as is, and we will preview this page in the browser. But then I'm going to zoom out in the browser, which is not always a good idea, but you should be able to see the effect a bit better because we won't have such a height dependency issue here. So if we zoom out, let's zoom out again and again. So if we go down to that starting point now, we can see here that we've got that nice skyline, and you can see that the foreground element has been completely cut out so that we get this, it's almost like we're peering into an image, and you can imagine how that would actually work. So if you're going to create your own background for this, your foreground element, have it cut out, that could be whatever you want it to be, and then your background element, and it creates this nice vista that's got this nice depth to it. So let's go back to Muse now and continue modifying the site. So we're going to assume that that's fine. We can change out these fills here, so I'm going to change these out. I'm going to swap these out for some greys here, and I'll swap this one out for a similar kind of color scheme. So we're going for more of a kind of a corporate feel to this design than the current design. So I've changed those colors there, so we've got our backgrounds there. Yep, that's fine. And then with our icons now, we're going to change these out as well. So I'm just going to click on that icon, and I'm going to go to the normal state because all the states are the same in this particular instance. And for my background fill here, I'm going to choose a alternate PNG file here. And because we've got set to original size, it's coming in nice and neatly. I'm going to change the background out as well, so that I get a nice, I don't get a color underneath that's slightly different that may show up in certain browsers. So I'm going to change that out to that dark color. Swap that image out to the alternate versions. Same with this one here. Let's make sure that I didn't follow my own instructions there. So I'm going to just set that again. I should have selected the normal state rather than the active state. So let's go to this one, change to gallery, and then finally make sure we're in normal. I did select that, yep. Double guessing myself here. Go to normal, fill, change this color to a darker color. Go to our background image and contact alt. Okay, so we've got and we can also swap out each one of these as well because we want them to match. So I'm just very quickly going to change all of these. And you can change these graphics to whatever you want. You don't have to use the graphics that we've used, but we're just using them as examples for you, but I think the overall effect of it works very, very well. But you can see how quickly we can change out this design here, and that's probably one of the most important things that we see with our templates, is that we want you to be able to modify them to match a different color scheme or different design very, very quickly. Because some templates that you can see online are quite complicated builds, and by the time you've spent time building them, you might as well be starting from scratch because there's so much to try and understand in setting the templates out. Let me just change these background colors as well because I've got a slight glow on them to match the color scheme, so I'm just going to set those. Right, okay, so that's our design altered. So I'm going to now go to File, Preview Page in Browser, and we've been working on this maybe 5 minutes. We did have our graphics prepared obviously beforehand, but we can see now that we have this new design here. You can see the edges there because it's been miniaturized in the browser, so that's it's creating some rendering differences here. And then if we click through, we've got that, and even the background image here. I'm just going to swap out that background image here. This one here, we're using background images here. So I'm going to choose this iPhone 5S JPEG, and we've got scale to fit. Yeah, there we go. So let's preview this in the browser again. Preview page in browser. We haven't changed this icon, but of course you could do that, and you would want to change your fave icon and your iOS bookmarking icon as well. So let's go down to our page here. There we go, and we can see that we've got that animation as that comes in now. Very easy to change that, and we've got our, because of the way that the design's been done, we've still got our nice overlays working here, and we've got all of the different elements working nicely, and we've changed the look and feel of the site with just a couple of changes to the template in maybe 5 minutes. So this is the Sevn template. Of course, you also have the tablet version that you would need to run those same changes on, and then the phone version as well. So there is some more work to do here, but I hope that this quick demonstration of how you can change some of the elements in the Sevn template will help you to work with it. Thanks for watching.